Hello, I'm Dr. PPP. I am the celebrity guru. I am the marathon man. I am the celebrity guru, award winning author of the book You Are the Celebrity. I'm also the author of the upcoming book Dynamo Diary. I'm super excited, yes, super excited to bring you all the way from Vancouver. Yes, on the 10th consecutive weekly episode. Yes, 10th consecutive weekly episode. We went to the double digit. Yes, none other than Patrick Walsh. Patrick is the host of Viewpoints and Points to View. Actor, director, producer, writer, and singer too. Without further ado, help me welcome Patrick Walsh, Vancouner. And again, sorry for the delay of 17 minutes. I apologize on behalf of Patrick and myself for the delay and still, uh, you know, connecting with us with your patience. I appreciate your patience. Okay, so help me welcome with your welcome, huge round of applause. Yes, none other than Patrick Walsh Vancouver. Hello, Patrick. How are you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing, and today's topic is suppression of spirit. And first, about 10 minutes, Patrick is going to share his wisdom about suppression of spirit, and you can meanwhile ask any questions, and after 10 minutes the line will be open for you, my celebrity viewer. Yes, for you can ask any question regarding suppression of spirit. So take the floor, Patrick.
All right. Welcome, everybody, again. So glad to have you here. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the suppression of the spirit. You are a spirit, and at times you may feel suppressed in your life. Let me read to you a poem, a philosophical statement in a poetic form. And this was written in about 5 minutes or so when somebody came to me who was under suppression. Each time they would go to their group, they felt very invalidated by this one person. And so I felt inspired to be able to write this message. So I will read it and continue talking about certain points just after what I read, and then I'll end off and we can have a discussion on it. Your questions, your statements, and any comments, of course, always are welcome from Dr. PPP. Okay. The heading of this writing is My End of Suppression. Let me not be guided by the inflamed meaning of gossip-mongering persons who through selfish means attempt to degrade the spirit of others, and in envy they seek to destroy. May I not give power to them in any way, nor facilitate their coil of attack. Like a rattler hidden away under even their own conscious self. For they are lost beings, capable only of death, spewing from their tongue of evil to torture the heart of a giving soul. Let this circle from without and within transform those who may dwell within this realm for their own protective disguise of evil intent, to pervert the meaning of the spirit. Then, in an attempt to bring darkness to any one soul who may arrive here to express their beauty from within, to give and mend others who may be in need through painful and weeping nights, seek out our existence. Let our expressions of who we are be protected by the spirit of good. And may what we say always bring life and light and remove darkness and shame. For in these things we accept a suppression, we accept a suppressive condition that is our own doing by allowing others to have power over us, by fear to face who they are and to act toward them from a place of integrity within our own universe of self. Who then do you live with when you go home and are alone? Who is giving you life and suffers the pain of your existence so you can learn? Who then is that neglected friend that you know from within? Why then deny the being of who you are to give power to one who would suppress? Am I not worthy of my own insight to who I desire to be? Am I not then a person like you, born from a seed of newness that is bringing forth a fruit of a different flavor? Can you taste me not for who I am? If I am, will you not perceive and grant me my own reality of truth, that I am the I am that I am? I release you from any power I have given you over me, and lift my troubled soul from the grips of your desire to do me harm. In my torture me no more, O lost soul. I have exposed you from inside and know the breath of evil you give. My light of spirit allows it not to come forth, and to you it shall return, to learn of your own pain that you wish on those undeserving souls who you defeat in their weakened times. Seek not vengeance for the actions of others, but heal the bruises and go forth to accept no more your abuse of self, by believing in the lie that you are less than the beautiful person that you have become to be in this precious circle of love. Accept not any falsity of intention to undermine your self-worth, and give to those accepting your gifts, and want not in return, and live in their freedom. Yours then to be had. A couple of points here, and I like to talk after I read something because I get inspired by that and like to make a few more points. Now, we're suppressed by agreeing that our value is less than what it is. That weakness makes us subject to be invalidated, the main objective of the suppressor. Unless you agree to suppression, you cannot be suppressed. In a suppressed condition, we are at effect and are subject to accidents, sickness, mistakes, and we will go up and down in life without any real stability. To confront suppression, you need to face it where it is, or from a safe distance, while regaining your strength. We all have had suppression in our lives at one point to another. We have all had difficulty trying to rise up from one place to another. We have all had individuals who didn't have our best interest at heart. We all have barriers and conditions that where it seems very difficult to overcome. And while we give in to the neglect of ourselves and allow for another or others to have power to affect us adversely, we need to understand that we're putting ourselves in a corner. We're isolating ourselves into a trap of unforgiveness. And our actions to do evil against ourselves and others, our behavioral patterns that are not constructive, are under the influence of suppression. Not all people who act badly are bad people, but all people who act badly are being affected in some way by suppression. So let us start the calls opening up in questions about some area that you may have in life that you're not succeeding. Some area in a relationship that it isn't going forward. Conditions that you have that are unwanted, that no matter what you do, you can't seem to rise above them. Let's have that discussion now. This is your moment.
Absolutely. Again, thank you for sharing. Yes. And to be open for my celebrity viewer, you can ask your question about suppression of spirit, suppression of soul, and Yes, I am really amazed and excited to bring this conversation, the suppression of soul. Yes. See, you are the soul. Yes. By the way, that's my upcoming book. And soul and spirit, same thing. So it's like that. What is soul and what is body, right? So whatever you see right now is body, and what there is a soul inside. If soul, right, soul is gone, then that's it. Body is expected, right? Let me demonstrate you how I know it happens. Let's say right now, as you know me, right? Now let me demonstrate you live for you what happens when soul is gone. So are you ready? Okay. On count of three. One, two, and yeah, that was a little demonstration about what happens when soul's gone to the supreme soul. That's it. Somebody's going to call 911. Somebody's going to call, oh, Dr. PP is gone now. It's a dead body now. What's the difference? A minute ago, that was a Dr. PPP, celebrity guru, and all kind of titles and like that. And after 1 minute, the demonstration, if you will continue for longer, oh, the Dr. PP is gone, right? So that's the difference then. What is gone? Cell body is here. The gone. So right now you are watching me and Patrick. So right now you are alive. Thank God. Thank your parents and count your blessings. But when this soul is gone, that's it. So you don't know, I don't know when you'll be gone, I'll be gone, or Patrick will be gone. But right now you are alive. Find out your purpose, passion, and mission. So you born twice, and that's the difference between a successful person and non-successful person. Successful people born twice. Yes, twice. As long after finding your mission, never ever stop. Believe in your wildest dream. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. Just yes, if Trump can win, so can you. Absolutely. So Patrick and myself are here to take your questions, ask any questions, and definitely questions about relationship, soul, because yeah, like yeah, when you suppress the soul, then all kind of troubles come. You're compensating the life, and you are not living the life the one God created when you were the womb uterus of your own mom. Yes, at that time you are full of energy, vital, and everything. Several hundred million, right? After the world, and starts suppressing and all kind of things happening, and down and right, and
Dr.
then things happen.
You are cutting out, you have been earlier on the intro.
Yes.
Maybe I started reading slower and taking pauses, hoping that whatever technical difficulty there is with Facebook, that sentences could be completed. So I know it may sound a little odd to the public, but talk slower,
Okay.
make your sentences for now tonight a little shorter, and I'm doing this deliberately so that the audience can be sure to get what we're saying.
Would love to, but at that moment, after the demonstration and during the demonstration, I have no idea what happens. I have no idea what happens, who took over, really, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And I
So
continue.
yes, again, if there is technical difficulties, or like I don't know, I've gone through like I don't know millions miles per hour. Uh, I really appreciate that. Still, your patience. And again, this is the newer technology. So for technical kind of stuff, we cannot control. So again, still, Patrick and myself have apology. So
Okay.
Patrick and myself,
All
yes,
right.
Patrick.
All right. Now, a person would ask a question,
Okay.
why? And I'll make a comment on the question and try to answer it. Why does one person want to suppress another or group from one group to another? Why do we have individuals like Hitler and Pretty Boy Floyd and ISIS as a group,
Okay.
killing children and people totally unnecessary that are not in any kind of threat directly to them from a military perspective? What is in a being or in individuals that make that happen?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Because today, a small minority of population of the population are attempting to influence the rest of the population to commit evil acts against one another in wars, genocides, confusion, chaos. Doesn't matter if it's on the internet or if with military means. And one has to be able to get on top of those who are creating this type of chaos and not allow for them to get in a position of influence. The reasons behind these individuals being in the condition they are in goes a way back. And I don't know how many of you believe in past lives or any of that. But it would take a lot to have a being so suppress themselves, so out of reality that they perceive from their subjective reality a chaos, a destructive perception that they feel is happening to them from inside and from outside by those around them. Imagine living in a state of mind where you fear, you're afraid of others, but you're trying to appear that you're not. You're very normal. You're trying to show that you have good intentions toward your fellow man. But really, what you're attempting to do is put yourself in a position where you can cause the maximum amount of harm to the majority of the populations of able, good people. That's possible. Well, this is the state of being that this is the state of mind that this being is in. They cannot distinguish the differences between their subjective past reality and the current objective reality that they're living in. They can't distinguish the differences. They can't identify. They don't know what's real. Being in this situation is very threatening to the rest of society, of this civilization. And all past civilizations that have fallen were subject to these cruel individuals that put one group against another, one individual against another, a brother against another brother, always through third-party interference as a third person in a communication to one group to another, invent circumstances that don't exist and try and sell that off to the other in order to have them in conflict, all the while stepping back out of a way invisible to the two as to what is going on. So this type of method, this type of psychology, this type of idea of creating the idea that man is evil, that each person we look at has an evil intent somewhere in their soul, doesn't come from the people that are good. It comes from the people who perceive and see man as being less than who they are. And even goodwill people who are convinced of this through certain indoctrination, they too can't tell the difference. They started to believe through one means or another And man was evil, and unless punished, unless his actions destroyed physically, using shock treatment, drugs, incarceration, any means possible, whipping, threats of damnation, any possibility of a man changing out of this situation, he would have to establish truly that he is good, that he isn't evil, that he was created with goodness and kindness as a baby, as a young child, and growing into be an adult. Our young people today, the prisons are full of them. Our young people today in the world are walking around feeling far less than they are. Our native communities are under siege with this evil ideology that they are less than anybody else. That only a certain class of people should have the right to life, should have a right to the wealth of our society that we live in, and the richness and resources that are available. All of this is false. It isn't true. We were all born equal to have equal rights. We're not equal as individuals. We all were born equal as human beings. See, we're not equal as beings in our different intelligence. Some people I know are more intelligent than I am, and I could be more intelligent than others. And I have special talents that others don't have. But we are all born equal, which means that we have an equality of the right to resources, to life, to education, to healthcare. The famine today that's going on in the world over in Africa is from suppression. I looked on the YouTube and I seen this gentleman in Africa dug out a diamond. It was this big, a huge diamond worth 30 or 40 million dollars. They promised to give him a new house. They promised to give him schooling for his children, if I recall correctly. What right does any outside group of people, class of people, have a right to go into the indigenous population, their land, take their resources, and not let them politically and religiously and culturally have the right to those resources and the benefits of them, and right to their own determination of whether or not they even want to dig for them or sell them? Yet this is what's going on all over the world. The land is being raped, and the people are being enslaved, and we all have to come together to outroot the cause of this suppression, because there are individuals there that are causing this to happen, groups of them, classes of people, of governments, and of those that manipulate others for slavery and for their own wealth. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much again, Patrick, for sharing your deep down wisdom. Let me share thoughts about the question, same question you asked, like why, like, people big, they are, destroy the mankind, or like some groups. Why? Okay.
Do we have any questions?
I'm sorry?
Are there any questions or comments?
Not yet. So that's why I can continue with the same question you asked me, and you answered you. Now I'm going to take it over. Okay, so question, you got it. Now I'm going to answer this way. You are human being, and science says, evolution says that we came up from animals. In animals also there is always winning, and aggression and all of things were there, and also continue with those things too. Good habits too, some bad habits too. So every day if you wake up, you see like several, it's a whole day, let's say you did 60,000 thoughts in a day, right? So out of those 60,000 approximately thoughts, if you, let's say, depends on the person to person, somebody, people, let's say all 60,000 thoughts are negative, somebody all 60,000 are positive, or yours and mine are in between, right? So always positive and negative, always, let's say, good and evil, everybody, you, me, everybody. Now out of those, the goodness, say big priest like say the lamas or XYZ, but whatever spiritual leaders, they have like more and more so much goodness. So they give the they give as the example, and lots of people are following. But then the followers, if they are so much orthodox, and then they want to see all the good things, and they don't want to see all the bad things. So too much love towards one thing, sometimes, it gives you craziness too. Good craziness is good, but there is negative craziness, then, it gives you power, but that's a negative power. That's why the like, brainwashed, like so far they so that's one thing. Second thing is, if you divide year of 5,000 years into four, it says Satyuga, first 2500, okay, 1250, 1250. So first 1250 Satyuga and Treta Yuga. During those 2500 years, there are lots and lots of great qualities, like God and Goddess kind of qualities are there. Then you go to Dwapar Yuga, then you are going to get more and more, your spirit and soul is going to go more and more down, right? And this is Kali Yuga. So this is last 1200. Out of the right now is like midnight or 1 minute left to the noon. So that much many, very few years are left, right? So more and more destruction you're going to see, but on the contrary, more and more like you're going to see great people or entrepreneur, and those are also building up too. So it's going to be so much contrast you are going to see. You have seen whatever is going to be more and more intense than that too, because we are towards the destruction, right? So that's how like Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga happens, right? But my selective viewer, you are the soul, you are the spirit. So just you do your best. Yes, you do your best, 1% at a time. Or if you have a very good let's say knowledge, power, wisdom, and people are following you, create leaders. Don't create the followers. It's leader creating leaders. So that's how we can do it, revolution easily, faster, and we can win over those negative energies or negative people, or who are destructor of the beautiful universe. Yes, our beautiful universe. Okay, so any last thoughts, Patrick?
Yes.
We are almost towards the end of the show.
All right. We are faced today with an onslaught of destruction against mankind, like probably has never been before. And why is that? Mankind, the cell, in order to evolve his species, depends upon a food supply. That food supply is being eroded and destroyed as we speak. The environment of the planet, the womb, if you like, of the planet, is being ripped apart so they cannot sustain life. The amount of drugs that are given out in society, both legal and illegal, are changing the biochemistry of the human body. The way our food supply is being altered to feed us is also changing the way the natural synergy of the plants and the way the human cells are attempting to grow the organism to serve the spirit is being interrupted. Millions of lives, individuals, are dying on opiates, psychiatric drugs, medical drugs. We are making it legal for people to end their own life, if it's too painful. We are allowing large populations of famine to occur. There are many attacks against mankind. It'll be a few of us, and there is a few that will lead us out of this and into a new light, if there is to be one. You need to join. You need to connect with those that are communicating in goodwill, in good spirit, a new way of life. Let the Buddha within and the love of Christ shine, and let Krishna govern your mind. Let all the wealth not be your desire, but the living life that God has given us, admire. And that's my last thought for you today. And I hope you have a lovely night. My blessings to you. By the way, all of this destruction, although it'll be terrible, it will not be the end of the world. We will overcome. I just want to make sure you know that. But we do have to participate. So God has an army of saints that he can work through in order to offset the evil that besets us.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much again, Patrick, for sharing wisdom. Those many years you have already gathered and shared with my celebrity viewer. Again, thank you so much, Patrick, for coming on this celebrity TV and joint venture with viewpoints and points to view coming from Patrick. Wow, wow. And we already cracked 10th episode of this talk about spirituality. Wow, can you imagine? One is from other part of Canada, and I'm from Toronto. He's from Vancouver. Like, it took three hours for the flight to reach from me to Patrick. Wow, and really amazing things we are bringing. Again, thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for my celebrity viewer for your amazing patience for the show. Amazing love you gave. For the show, and thank you so much for sharing. uh, Thank you so much for sending your comments, and keep sending love, and let's spread great energy with you, with the world, because the universe is the best place to live. Yeah, so let me conclude with this. Believe in your wildest dreams. Don't let anybody steal your dreams. Just do it now. If Trump can win, so can you. You have the celebrity day and celebrity life. You are the celebrity.